give us some quick tips for young adolescent girls that they should keep in mind for good health.
Just to summarize what I said, please eat a healthier diet, exercise regularly, that's a must, and seek medical help. Do not delay seeking medical help when you have gynae problems.
So बहुत बेसिक चीज़ है. आप बोल रहे हैं क्लीन टॉयलेट होना चाहिए स्कूल में, मग होना चाहिए, टॉयलेट होना चाहिए, बेसिकली बेसिक थिंग्स जिससे इन्फेक्शन ना हो.
Yeah, just for the purpose of disposal of sanitary pad, which is something a young girl is going to need every month as a part of her regular physiology.
Okay, so what you're saying is cervical cancer vaccine is not only for the girls, because again that seems to be the narrative. It's also for the boys.
Because human papilloma virus also causes anal warts and other issues in boys,
Right.
and some kind of cancers also in boys. So it's now being licensed for boys also.
Right.
Same age group, 9 to 15.
Right.
Internet, for instance, says chronic condition has no cure, you have to live with it. So a lot of misinformation is going around.
Right. Right. The Google isn't the answer for everything. Right?
Exactly.
Welcome to Health Matters. मैं हूं अर्जुन भगत and today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Harmeet Khurana, who's an obstetrician and a gynecologist with the Neptune Hospital in South Delhi. You are an MBBS and an MD from Maulana Azad College, which is one of India's finest institutions, Harmeet. And of course, you're a classmate of mine from DPS RK Puram, and we've known each other for many, many years. So, today we are talking about a very important subject. महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य के बारे में हम लोग आज बात कर रहे हैं. Why is this subject so important? आप specialize करते हैं in gynecology. You have a special interest on adolescent gynecology. So why is this subject so important for the well-being and the health of our population?
Arjun, I would like to say that adolescence is a very special time. It's that precious time between childhood and adulthood. It's the time when they have very unique kind of problems, and especially related to menstruation. So that's when girls first time attain puberty and undergo a process called menarche, which is the medical term, the special term for onset of menses, the first period. So that's why it becomes very important for us to give special attention to the girls at this time, because they're dealing with something very new, something happening to them, to their bodies, which they fail to understand. They need a lot of support and guidance. And as a society, we are not very open in talking about
हाँ, इसमें काफी taboos हैं and a lot of fixed ideas are there. So, as a doctor, what are some of these societal kind of perceptions so that we really understand what we are talking about?
So, just to give you an idea about where we stand, the state of affairs, I'd like to tell you about a study which was published in the International Journal for Environmental Research and Public Health in 2020. This was carried out in India about the menstrual hygiene preparedness in the schools of Delhi. So you will be shocked to know that only 45% of the girls are aware of this process before they actually start their periods.
तो आप बता रहे हैं कि बच्चियों को इसके बारे में जानकारी ही नहीं है.
That's what the study found. And what I found very surprising, I thought the urban scenario was very different from the rural scenario, but the figures were quite similar between urban and rural awareness.
तो आप बता रहे हैं 45% of young girls in Delhi did not even know about the menstrual cycle.
Possibly, yes. That's the study.
वो हम लोग दिल्ली के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. We're not talking about rural India, but आप बता रहे हैं कि rural India में भी
similar picture. This study was carried out pan-India in various states. So this is the overall Indian picture. Then coming to the kind of facilities that are available for these girls. It is quite upsetting to know that most schools do not have adequate facilities for sanitation. In fact, 56% of the schools don't even have separate toilets for girls. I found that quite shocking. And then something as simple as facilities for sanitation disposal. Something as basic as a dustbin with a lid.
So sanitation, let's explain it to our viewers. Sanitation means मतलब साफ सफाई.
Yeah, presence of a clean toilet with basic running water, with a mug and a dustbin with a lid.
तो बहुत
for
बेसिक
disposal.
चीज़ है. आप बोल रहे हैं क्लीन टॉयलेट होना चाहिए स्कूल में, मग होना चाहिए, टॉयलेट होना चाहिए, बेसिकली बेसिक थिंग्स जिससे इन्फेक्शन ना हो.
Yeah, just for the purpose of disposal of a sanitary pad, which is something a young girl is going to need every month as a part of her regular physiology.
Right.
So these basic facilities were not there. Only 21% of girls had access to painkillers for painful periods in the schools. Then, coming down to talking about these periods, they found that forget about male teachers, a lot of female teachers are not comfortable discussing this subject with the girls. And this study said that 2% of the girls were even scolded for bringing up menstrual issues. They must have refused to participate in games or something. We need to be more sensitive. We need to be more empathetic with these girls.
So then how does one go about bringing that societal change? उसमें क्योंकि there's so many schools, India has such a large population, awareness level तो बढ़ ही गए हैं. There's no doubt about it in so many different fields. What can we do as a society to change that?
So, Arjun, I would say I think this begins at home. We have to start talking about it and not talking about it to the girls only, but I think getting the men to also know, the men in the family should also know that a woman having her periods is something normal. It's a normal bodily function, just like any other bodily function. You cannot isolate her, you cannot make her feel unclean. You might think it doesn't happen right now, but I'm telling you from my practice in South Delhi, I get repeated requests for postponement of periods because घर में पूजा है, so वो तो हो नहीं सकता.
तो postponement का क्या मतलब? People are asking कि
Taking
दवाई दीजिए.
medicines to push the periods away so that they can participate in religious functions. It's a normal thing, it's a done thing, it's understood that periods हो रहे हैं तो पूजा नहीं करना है.
तो उससे तो complications भी हो सकते हैं, the health complications that can.
Not really, it's done very safely, but I'm just talking medically, it doesn't have so much of an implication. You can take 5
So I
tablets.
guess what you're talking about is the medical, I mean the kind of ideas that society has.
The mindset about the
mindset.
period, that it's something unclean, it's something which should not happen to a woman when she's clean. So I think that needs to go. It's just a normal bodily function.
So, we're talking about menstrual cycles. Can you also talk about some of the health disorders
Right.
as far as this particular condition is concerned?
So, since I'm talking about adolescent gynecology right now, when a woman comes to that point when she's supposed to have her first period, there's a condition called primary amenorrhea. So, I'm not particularly going in order of importance, but just a random, just telling you what kind of problems can happen, starting from the beginning, for instance. So, there's a girl child in the house who still hasn't started her periods by the age of 16.
Right.
So that is a medical problem. It's called primary amenorrhea. The reason could be hormonal, could be something like the non-development of this genital tract. It's a syndrome called the Mayer-Rokitansky syndrome, where there is no development of the uterus. They don't have a uterus.
Right.
So that is a big issue, medical problem. So apart from that, the more commoner problem would be the girl has started her periods, but she's having heavy periods.
Right.
Because of unmasking of maybe a subtle clotting problem that she had, which was okay when she was not having her periods. But once she starts her periods, then the medical word for this is called menorrhagia. She starts having heavy periods which need treatment, investigation and treatment. And
Right.
that's when we find out, oh, she's had a clotting problem all along. Third most common thing is painful periods. Here also the statistics say that about 80% of girls may have painful periods during their lifetime, and up to 2 to 30% of them can have serious problems to the extent that they need to be hospitalized, they need to come to the hospital, they will miss their school, they'll miss their work or routine regular classes. So that is a third number. Fourthly, we come to almost something which has become an epidemic by now, polycystic ovarian disease or PCOD.
Right. और पीसीओडी के बारे में तो बहुत सुनने को मिल रहा है. At what stage do you come to a doctor like yourselves?
So our commonest referral, so leaving these two major issues aside, that the girl has a structural problem or she's having heavy bleeding, the two common problems are painful periods and disturbance of periods, which is PCOD. I find somehow that girls take a lot of time in reaching the doctor because their mothers, their family tells them, it's okay, we all have had periods, it's all right to have pain, it's all right to put up with it, be brave, put up with it. But that's not true. That's not right. Given the kind of, our children we see have such active lives, it's not fair to ask them to put their lives on hold for 2 to 5 days of their lives in every month.
Right.
Every month, 2 to 5 days go waste because you're having pain.
So that awareness has to come because the first line is actually the family, right? It's the mother or the father, whatever the family. So सबसे alert family को होना चाहिए, so that if there is a problem with an adolescent girl, they need to get proper medical advice, not their referral के जी हमारे साथ भी ये हुआ है, so you will get by it. So you have to go to a professional doctor, right? Because you have solutions.
Also, sometimes painful periods, or as dysmenorrhea, as this condition is called, it may have serious underlying causes. One of them is endometriosis, again very, very common.
तो आपने what word did you use जब बहुत दर्द होती है?
Dysmenorrhea.
Dysmenorrhea. Okay.
So dysmenorrhea is the medical term for painful periods, and it happens in normal cycles also, normal girls also. Sometimes it may have a very, very serious cause lying underneath, which luckily we have ultrasounds to diagnose. Right. So any girl having painful periods should have an ultrasound before being told it's okay, it's all right. Once you've ruled out serious conditions like endometriosis, ovarian cysts, any infections, anything like that, then also I think it's the right of the girl to get treatment.
Right.
To not just bear and put up with it. So, this stems basically from the fact that we've been taught always, and it is correct, that pain should not be suppressed. Pain is your body's way of telling you that something's wrong. That's
Right.
that's common sense, and it's also very important medical teaching that whenever you have pain, please don't take a painkiller. But this does not apply to period pain, because period pain happens because of prostaglandin imbalance. And what we say painkillers, when we are giving painkillers, they're not actually painkillers. For them, they are medical treatment. The medical term for painkillers is called NSAIDs, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which correct
But वो तो सबके लिए होएगा, right?
So other people using NSAIDs are using them to kill the pain.
Right.
We are using it to correct the prostaglandin imbalance.
Okay.
Right. So which needs to be corrected in the girl so that she can carry on. Why do you want her to have pain?
Right.
It's not body's way of telling you anything. It's just normal physiology. And when we have the means, when we have the drugs to not let her suffer, I think we should give painkillers. After proper investigation, of course, after you've ruled out serious conditions.
Right. So, अब आपने PCOD के बारे में बात किया, explain to our viewers what PCOD is. And, we've been increasingly hearing about PCOD. We hear about it, that it leads to infertility or is the cause of infertility. Tell us a little bit about this. And what is the cause of PCOD?
I'm so glad we're talking about PCOD, because I feel there is so much of misinformation about PCOD. People have
So could you tell us the full form
Yes.
again? Just once again.
PCOD refers to polycystic ovarian disease.
Right.
Right? Or some people are very fond of calling it the polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS.
Right.
Basically, it's a hormonal disturbance causing anovulation. Once a girl reaches puberty and starts having regular menstruation, actually there's a monthly ovarian cycle going on, which means that every month one follicle from the ovary is selected, it grows. If there's fertilization, it can result in a pregnancy. And if there is no fertilization of that egg, the uterine lining is shed and you call that a period.
Right.
Right? So this cyclicity is happening in all women of reproductive age group.
Ji.
In PCOD, this cyclicity is lost. Now the causes can be environmental causes. Your lifestyle has a huge role to play. That's where we come in.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to another doctor, and she was telling me that lifestyle, maybe excessive sugar or what you eat actually and lack of exercise often has a direct result in PCOD. Is that a fact?
Absolutely. Which is why it's so important to correct it. You see, and why we hadn't heard about this many years back. Our lifestyles have definitely become more of junk food, less of activity, causing to an epidemic of PCOD, like I said. And the good part is that it is totally something we can control. You change your lifestyle, and there you are. Your periods are regular. Most girls even know it. They may be carrying big files and going from one doctor to another, but they'll tell you, when I start exercising, I get periods regularly. They know it. So that is the big contribution of something simple like a dietary change or introducing exercise into their regular routines into PCOD. Of course, PCOD can be caused by endocrine disruptions like hypothyroidism, hyperprolactinemia, any malfunctioning of any hormonal issues in the body, which need to be investigated and corrected alongside. So, which is why we should be talking about PCOD.
Right. So so PCOD is another disease or a problem that modern medicine has enough of solutions for.
Absolutely, a lot of. So, before coming for this show, of course, I did a Google search, which I wish I had done earlier. Because now I know where my patients are coming from. They come to you, and the mothers are all worried, doctor, the ultrasound shows PCOD. And I'm like, so what? I mean, this is something you brought onto yourself, and this is something which you will be able to correct yourself. But internet, for instance, says chronic condition has no cure. You have to live with it. So a lot of misinformation is going around.
Right. The Google isn't the answer for everything. Right?
Exactly. And here PCOD, since it's so common, in fact, you'll if you talk to girls, they'll say, yes, everybody in my class has it. I've heard a lot of my friends, they're dealing with PCOD without understanding what they're dealing with.
Right.
Basically, it's just anovulation. Your ovaries are not functioning properly because you have sort of flooded your system with junk food and you're not exercising. So there's a very subtle pathway which leads to certain changes which cause a hormonal disturbance, and that beautiful cyclicity of one egg forming each month is lost.
Right.
And then there are no periods for a long time. So menstrual irregularities are the manifestation of PCOD. Apart from that, the girl may come to you and say, burst out into acne, excessive facial hair. So the hormonal disturbance gives rise to certain symptoms which we need to correct. Major correction comes from lifestyle changes. However, there are certain cases where there is a hyperactivity of the hypothalamic center in the brain, and then you need to resort to medication. But first line in most girls who carry this diagnosis of PCOD should be lifestyle changes. And most important in lifestyle, regular exercise.
Exercise is a habit, right? And a lot of kids, and I'm not talking about just the girls, but also the boys, they just don't want to exercise. There seems to be this mind block. I'm not talking about kids who are athletes and all. Of course, you have those, but overall, the larger majority of kids I would even say in urban India prefer the exercise that they get on their cell phones than anything else.
The mobile phones aren't.
So, what does exercise do that prevents PCOD?
Okay, so one way directly that exercise works is weight loss. If you have excessive weight, obesity, fat cells tend to accumulate estrogen, more hormonal imbalance. It's a very direct pathway. But when we have lean PCOS also, so exercise tends to improve the basic abnormality in PCOS, which is insulin resistance.
Right.
The biochemical problem at that level is insulin resistance, and exercise is known to improve that.
So exercise resistance is again a form of diabetes, right?
Insulin resistance.
Insulin
Resistance. Yes, ultimately that's the basic pathogenesis. So
right.
We even give the same medicine for
precisely
PCOD.
Yeah.
Metformin.
Right.
So if you go to the chemist, he'll say, "Bacche ko diabetes ho gayi hai." Little does he realize that the basic pathology in both the conditions, and insulin is the hormone which is involved in controlling glucose levels.
Right.
So a disruption in your insulin will affect blood glucose level, which is why they're so intertwined.
Right.
And a disruption at the level of the pancreas gives you diabetes. A disruption at the level of the ovaries gives you PCOD.
Right. There are other important aspects that we should also talk about when it comes to young women. एक है cervical vaccine, which is something that you also wanted to speak about. What is cervical vaccine? Because again, it's something that is coming up in the last few years. पहले इतनी इसके बारे में बात नहीं करते थे हम
Even in
लोग.
the budget, there was some provision about
Yes.
cervical cancer vaccine being made available.
तो अभी तक cervical vaccine, the cervical cancer vaccine, it's not something which is mandatory in the vaccination schedule of children. अभी तक नहीं है.
Nahi hai. It's an expensive vaccine, but our government is trying its best. In fact, we recently had a meeting, and it should be being rolled out as a part of the national immunization schedule. At least Delhi is going to get it very, very soon. So, to come down to the basic of cervical cancer, unlike other cancers, is one cancer which is caused by the human papilloma virus. Here we know that this is the virus causing it. This virus is acquired by sexual activity.
Right.
So we found a target population of girls between 9 to 15 years of age before onset of sexual activity. If we are able to vaccinate them against this virus, then you're preventing cancer. It's as simple as that. Which is why this vaccine is very, very important. All girls should get it. The company says 9 to 26. We are targeting girls between 9 to 15 years of age because that's when their immune systems mount a very good response. The vaccine has the best benefit for them. So this is the plan. This is what I wanted to talk about, that all girls must get their shots of cervical cancer vaccine. They were firstly being marketed by international brands, very expensive. Now we have an Indian version rolled out by a very nice Indian company, and the cost of course has gone down, and a lot of charitable institutes are doing camps so that they're making this available to girls free of cost to girls who cannot afford it. But this is something which is the need.
तो इसकी कोई एक बारी वैक्सीन आप ले लेते हैं, are there any after effects or any complications that happen? Because a lot of people have that kind of worry also कि अगर मैं ये वैक्सीन एक और इतनी वैक्सीन्स तो ले रहे हैं, अब ये क्यों लें?
This, I think COVID vaccine started all this, and COVID vaccine has a lot of controversy surrounding it. But this one is very clear. This one has a life-saving potential. And in terms of side effects, we have found that side effects are minimal. It's just local.
And it's been around for some time, right? West में तो काफी सालों से they're using cervical cancer vaccine.
We have been using it easily for the last 15 odd years.
So 15 साल से इंडिया में भी लग रही है.
Lag rahi hai, but the awareness has increased by leaps and bounds now with the government stepping in, because we want everybody in India to get it now. So that's it. And also to bring in this, that it's now also being licensed for boys.
Right. Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
For boys, for anal carcinomas, for warts, and also to break the cycle. If you immunize your boys also and they can't pass it on to the girls, then as a society, we are protected.
Okay. So what you're saying is cervical cancer vaccine is not only for the girls, because again, that seems to be the narrative. It's also for the boys.
Because human papilloma virus also causes anal warts and other issues in boys.
Right.
And some kind of cancers also in boys. So it's now being licensed for boys also.
Right.
Same age group, 9 to 15.
Right. Dr. Khurana, before we kind of wrap this very interesting episode of Health Matters, give us some quick tips for young adolescent girls that they should keep in mind for good health.
Okay, so just to summarize what I said, please eat a healthier diet, exercise regularly, that's a must, and seek medical help. Do not delay seeking medical help when you have gynae problems.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Khurana, for joining us for this very special episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And we talked about some very, very important aspects for adolescent young women. And keep watching Health Matters. We'll come with another episode next week. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
ऐसी ही दिलचस्प और महत्वपूर्ण हेल्थ इश्यूज के बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त करने के लिए देखते रहिए हेल्थ मंत्रा।